Hey, welcome! Today we are going to pull back the curtain on the technology that, let's be honest, pretty much runs our lives. We're going to dive into this hidden world behind our screens and really understand the incredible journey our information takes every single second.
I mean, seriously, have you ever just stopped and thought about that? You speak into your phone, and somehow that exact sound pops up on the other side of the planet, like instantly. It feels like magic, right? But it's not. It's some seriously incredible engineering, and we're about to break it all down.
So the whole foundation of our connected world, everything from a simple text message to streaming a movie in 4K, it's all built on one single fundamental concept: signals. You could say it's the language that all of our technology speaks.
So, what is a signal? Well, think of it like a tiny messenger. It's basically an electrical packet that carries a stand-in for data. Your voice, a photo, the words in an email, and it allows that data to travel between devices, sometimes at literally the speed of light.
Okay, so this machine language, it actually has two main dialects, two totally different ways of carrying that information. And getting the difference between them, that's the key to understanding our entire modern world. First up, we've got analog. Just look at it. It's a continuous, smooth, flowing wave. This is how the universe naturally sends information, like sound waves moving through the air or old-school radio waves. It's a direct, unbroken mirror of whatever it's copying. Digital, on the other hand, is a whole different ballgame. It doesn't bother with a perfect, flowing copy. Instead, it takes super precise measurements and then represents that information as a series of distinct, separate steps. And it does it with an incredibly simple and powerful code, just zeros and ones. So why does this matter? Well, this difference in structure gives digital a huge advantage. An analog signal might be a perfect copy, but it's also kind of fragile and super easy to distort with static or noise. But because digital is just a clean code of ones and zeros, it's way less affected by noise. Plus, you can encrypt it for security, and you can copy it a million times without losing any quality. All right, so let's actually follow your voice on its amazing journey through a digital system. We're going to go from the moment you speak to the exact moment your friend on the other side of the world hears you. I want you to think of this whole thing like a high-tech relay race for your information. Each of these components has one specific job to do, and it passes the signal off to the next stage, making sure it gets to the finish line perfectly intact. And it all starts with you. The physical sound wave of your voice, that's the source. An input transducer, which is just a fancy name for the microphone in your phone, grabs that physical energy and turns it into an electrical signal. Now for the really crucial part. The encoder takes that raw, messy electrical signal and translates it into that clean, powerful digital code of ones and zeros we were just talking about. This makes the signal really compact and ready for its long-distance trip. Then, all the way at the other end, the whole process just happens in reverse. A decoder gets that stream of ones and zeros and perfectly reassembles it into an electrical signal. Then, an output transducer, the speaker in your friend's phone, turns that signal back into physical sound waves. And boom, your voice perfectly reconstructed. So, that's the journey of just one piece of information. Now, zoom out. Multiply that process by billions of signals every single second, and what do you get? You get our modern world. We're not just sending signals anymore, we are literally living inside the network they've built. And there's actually a word for that: a netizen. A netizen is anyone who uses this huge network, whether it's for learning something new, watching a movie, doing business, or just talking to friends and family. Yeah, if you're watching this right now, you are a netizen. And just like being a citizen in the physical world, being a netizen comes with a kind of social contract. And the principles are things we already know, right? Be polite, be respectful, follow the law. It's really just about showing the same courtesy and consideration online that you would offline. This all leads us to this bigger and frankly more important idea of digital citizenship. This isn't just about simple manners. It's about our rights, our responsibilities, and how we actively participate in a global digital society. I mean, the promise of this technology is just undeniable, and it's woven into the fabric of our lives. We can learn basically any skill from experts across the globe. We can watch history unfold in real time. We have access to a near infinite library of entertainment, and we can manage our lives with incredible convenience. The benefits are, well, they're revolutionary. But, and this is a big but, this connectivity is a double-edged sword. With all of that incredible promise comes some very real peril. The same networks that connect us for good can be used for cybercrime, hacking, online bullying, and phishing scams that can have devastating real-world consequences. We have to be just as aware of the risks as we are of the reward. This quote really gets to the heart of the matter. Unlike a quick conversation you have in person, our digital interactions can be permanent. Our online reputation, which is really just the sum of all our posts, our comments, and our shares, it becomes this lasting digital footprint that can follow us for years, impacting everything from our careers to our relationship. And that really brings us to the final takeaway. Understanding how a signal travels from point A to point B, that's just step one. The real challenge is deciding how we act as citizens of this digital world. Knowing the tech empowers us to be safer and more responsible. So the real question isn't just about the technology anymore. It's about us and what we choose to build with it.